Hello friends, welcome to Mechatro channel. Today in this session we will learn about Arduino UNO and we will see complete pinout diagram about Arduino UNO. Without delay, let's get into it. So here on the screen you can see that there is an Arduino UNO board which is an R3 model. So in this board you can see digital pins, you can see analog pins and you can see power pins, right? Okay, let us see about digital pins. We have 14 digital pins here starting from 0 and 13. So 0th pin and 1st pin are transmitter and receiver, and rest of the pins are normal digital pins only. You can use any digital pins as transmitter and receiver also. It up to you and whatever how you can programming. So and after 13th you can also use analog pins as 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 digital pin. Okay, so you can use analog pins also digital pins, but depends upon the code you written. Okay, now come to analog pin session. Here we can observe only 6 analog pins are there. So while discussing about digital pin, we mentioned that analog pins can also be used as a digital pins. At the same time, digital pins, some of the pins like 11, 10, 9, 6, 5, 3, which we can observe there is a wave like symbol or signal like symbol. So these pins are also called as pulse width modulation pins. So these pins can be used as a analog pins also. So whenever we require more analog pins, we can use digital pins as analog pins. Okay, after analog pins, the most important part of the board is power pins. You can observe power pins here. So you can see there is a V input pin and 2 ground pins and one 5V input output pin and 3.3V input output pin, one reset pin and input output reference pin. You can supply 5V or you can get 5V also from here. Okay, this is an additional pin. This is nothing, this is an empty pin. Okay, let us remove some red color marks here so that it will be very clear to us. So I'm erasing all these things. Okay, from voltage input pin we can supply 7 to 12 volts of supply, and also we can use this V input voltage input pin as an output also for connection of Bluetooth and any Wi-Fi modules or any other external sensors. Also we can use this as a output pin while connecting these to the power supply. Okay, while connecting power jack to the power supply. Okay, so while connecting to this power supply, after this we can observe there is 2 ground pins on. Observing the board, we can also see that there is not only these 2 ground pins are available, we can also find one extra ground pin in digital pin slot. Okay, totally 3 ground pins are there in Arduino UNO board. Okay, after that we can observe 5V pin input output also. We can give input to the input supply to the board, or also you can get a output from this board while connecting to through the power supply, and also from a USB B type port also. And also we can see there is a 3.3V pin also, and one reset pin and one input output reference pin also. Okay, so and we can see here one analog reference pin also here. So the application of these pin will we can see in later lectures. Okay, so after this you can see one reset button also here. So most of the people think that while clicking on the reset button the code will get erased, but it's not correct. This is completely trash. So what actually happening is the code get refreshed. So from the code get executed from starting onwards. Okay, this is the only purpose of the reset pin, and also reset pins and reset button also. Okay, so at the same time this USB B type port is used to give power supply, and also to code or to dump the code to the IC. Okay, so let us remove all these red color marks and we will go to the important part of the today's session. For our convenience, let us rotate the Arduino board. So I'm selecting the board. So now it can be cleared. Okay, we will see clearly. So the heart of the board is called the IC. It is located in here. This IC has 28 pins. 14 pins is from here and 14 pins is here, and these pins are connected to the digital pins, analog pins, and power supply pins, and these pins are also connected to the voltage regulator and power supply, which is connected to the power supply, and these pins are also connected to the USB port also. So, and these pins are also connected to the LED lights. This chip is manufactured by the Atmel company, and most of the Arduino original boards are manufactured by the Atmel Industries only. So depending upon the board and depending upon the IC they are using, and depending upon the company manufacturing the chips or boards, the IC number may vary. Usually this IC number is Atmega 328P. After the chip, we can observe that there is 4 LEDs. First LED is power supply LED, and second LED is built-in LED, and third and fourth LEDs are transmitter and receiver LEDs. Okay, so now this power supply LED is indicates that whether the board is switched on or off. Okay, and this built-in LED is given as our reference LED only. Whether the board is working or not also we can check by using blinking of the light example. So okay, it is like a hello world program. Okay, so this LED is given for the user purpose only, and these two LEDs are receiver and transmitter LEDs. So while we are connecting this board to the Bluetooth module or Wi-Fi modules or any external sensors or any GPS trackers also, these two LEDs will get blink due to giving information, transmitting information, or by receiving information, these two LEDs will blink. Okay, so and the most important part of the board is this crystal. This crystal is quartz crystal. It is made up of quartz. Okay, so on this crystal, while observing clearly, we can notice that it is 16,000. There is a number called 16,000 in here. So that this crystal will perform 16,000 tasks in a second. So for a mathematical task in a second. In future videos we will try to build our own Arduino board. So then we will see what is the use and purpose of these crystal also in future videos. Okay, this is complete pinout diagram of Arduino UNO. So as I mentioned in the previous, so these are the digital pins, and these are the analog pins, and these are the power pins. Okay, this is a USB B type port, and this one is the code reset button. So this is power jack, DC power jack. This is serial clock and serial data pins. These are the 2 pins. Okay, and analog 4 and analog 5 we can use as serial data and serial clock pins. As I told earlier, 11, 10, 9 and 6, 5, 3, these pins are called as pulse width model pins. So what is the use of these pins we will see later. Okay, that's all about these lectures. Thank you.